Well, it's a cold evening in Nairobi. We want to warmly welcome you to this live broadcast. I am Tom Boyer.
I am Mchuma Odem. Our sign language expert tonight is Lensa Odenga. Talk to us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1, at KBC Digital, on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Right, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. We'll sample some of your thoughts at the tail end of this live broadcast. But let's open this coverage with our story. Number one, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is tonight has urged the court, to declare his impeachment unconstitutional.
Through his legal team, Gachagua argued that his impeachment was anchored on a non-existent constitutional provision and demanded compensation for lost earnings.
Now, Ruth Wamboi is the one who's opening our broadcast with that story from the court.
Flanked by family and political allies, Rigathi Gachagua sat in court for hours as his legal team poked holes into the October 2024 impeachment.
The Senate cannot legally, constitutionally bypass the committee. It is the committee that accords an opportunity to the person to be impeached to be fully heard, not the plenary.
Gachagua, through his battery of lawyers, sought to have his removal as deputy president set aside for flouting the constitution.
The danger of allowing malicious compliance to go unredressed is that it injects an irredeemable legitimacy gap in constitutional processes.
Gachagua questioned the speed at which the impeachment was carried out, alleging that the outcome had been predetermined.
Why is the president's reference to the people of Murang'a as shareholders in his government acceptable political rhetoric? And a similar reference to the people of Nandi and Kericho, because those are the areas mentioned in the motion, by his deputy, an impeachable offense.
Gachagua's defense team questioned the neutrality of speakers, Amason Kingi and Moses Wetangula, alleging that the two had backed the ground for his impeachment before presiding over the process.
The president, in consulting IBC on that night, was not doing so as a matter of constitutional requirement, but was doing so as a matter of abundant caution. He was being careful. He didn't require to do so. Those are the points they make.
10 days that the Senate imposed on itself was not, did not have any legal basis. So that it was not justifiable for the Senate to impose itself on a 10-day period to conclude the business in a very rushed manner.
Justices Eric Ogola, Anthony Murima, and Dr. Freda Mugambi also add that Gachagua's ouster was politically motivated, with his lawyers alleging that lawmakers in both the National Assembly and the Senate were influenced through bribery to support his removal.
Which way, Kenya? What is the state of our morality in terms of our constitution?
Gachagua wants to be compensated, and the election of Professor Kithure Kindiki declared unconstitutional. The highlighting of submissions continues on May 7th. Mounting up a spirited fight, the defense team informed the three-judge bench of the High Court that there were multiplicity and duplicity of charges by the National Assembly and the Senate, which was a sham and could not sustain an impeachment process. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani's Law Court.